Hey everyone, my name is Adrienne. You can also call me Andy, and I am from CFB Edmonton. I'm one of the fitness instructors there. Today we are running a live streamed tele-fitness class. This one is going to be based on some cardio interval training. So we're going to be working with intervals of several different times, several different lengths, short rests, and a whole variety of super fun exercises. Danielle is going to be working with me behind the scenes, so if you have questions, comments, just definitely post them below and then check out the comments with the video here so that you get filled in on all of the need to knows and any questions you might have about today's workout answered. Okay, so welcome back if you've done one of our live stream fitness classes before. If this is your very first one, so happy to have you here, so happy to have you joining us. And first things first, I just need to run through a quick disclaimer here. So in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness classes to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces members become accessible to everyone. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness levels are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician prior to beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. Links to those are going to be posted in the comments below, so make sure you check that out. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If Canadian Armed Forces members sustain an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98. Like I said, if you missed it, I started it probably a few seconds early. My name's Adrienne. Feel free to call me Andy, and I'm one of the fitness instructors here at CFB Edmonton. I'm working alongside Danielle, who is another fitness instructor. She's going to be monitoring the comments, working behind the scenes to answer questions that you have about the workout. She's also going to post up those links that I mentioned to the Get Active questionnaire and reference document. For today, cardio interval fitness class, going for intervals of several different lengths. I'll explain how that's going to boil down in just a moment, but to give you an idea of really what we're going for, general focus of this class, we want to bring your heart rate up. We want to try and keep it up there. We're not going for like max 3,000% effort for the entire class, but we're going to work at whatever intensity really feels like we're pushing ourselves to keep that heart rate up, to really go for it and see what we can do with that. So I'm going to encourage you to work at whatever pace feels good for you, whatever intensity feels like it's challenging, whatever brings that heart rate up a little bit without jumping way up to like absolute maximum effort. At any point, if you need to modify an exercise, please do so. If you need to take rests, grab water, I highly encourage those. I will be doing everything with a timer today, so in that time frame, when the timer's on and going, it's totally up to you if you want to power through for that full time, or you modify your pace a little bit, adjust as you need to. Aside from that, I don't have music going on here. I would highly recommend that you crank some of your own tunes, and then bonus of that is you really get to listen and work out to whatever you want, whatever you fancy. Outside of that, equipment wise, I have a mat. I'm going to be using it a little bit today because my floor here is quite hard. Up to you if you want a mat for yourself. You may or may not actually need it for the workout. It's just an option. And then additionally, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work with the stairs. I kind of have a staircase that I have access to. I'm not going to be using it a whole bunch today, but if I disappear out that door, I'm going to run stairs, and I will be back very shortly before the timer is done, for sure, I promise. If you don't have a set of stairs available to you, maybe you have something like a small step, or even just like a single, like those like mini set of stairs, if you know what I mean, or like raised floor somewhere that you can use as a bit of a step for now. And if not, no stress, I will have some alternatives that are going to be entirely without equipment, so no worries about that. Other things, to make sure you have, other than music, motivation, enthusiasm, a go-get-em attitude. Make sure you have your water handy. Feel free to, like I said, take breaks, hydrate as often as you need. Before we jump into the really meat and potatoes part of our training today, we're going to start with a classic warm-up. Nothing too crazy here. I'm sure you've seen a couple of these before, but we're going to go ahead and get it started with a little bit of a jog on the spot. Purpose of the warm-up is just to get the body warm, to start to get the blood flowing, to help lubricate our joints so that we're moving safely and effectively through the rest of our hour. I'm looking forward to training with you today. I really hope you are as well. I've been excited about this all week. And if this isn't your jam, I'll mention this later as well, but if you're wanting to train a little bit more specific to your force test, good news is the very next video that we have available from a CFB instructor is going to be with Audie tomorrow at 1400 hours. That's going to be force specific training. All right, from here, let's start to bring those knees up a little bit higher. Your choice if you want to walk these or jog them a little bit. Bring those knees up towards the chest. And you can go ahead and come back to your jog. Just on the spot. Excellent. Go ahead and add some butt kicks. Bring those heels up towards the glutes. Again, your choice. Either running or rocking it. And come on back to your jog on the spot. Just going nice and light with the feet here. Starting easy. Things will get warmer, I promise. A little bit more exciting as we jump into the rest of the workout. Let's transition into some jumping jacks. If shoulders don't love these, you can always keep those a little bit smaller or go without arms entirely. Keep going. For 3, 2, 1, back to your jog. All right, stepping into some lunges. We're gonna go 2 forward, 2 to the side, and 2 back. If you don't have room, adjust the order, modify as you need to. So you're gonna go 1 foot forward, other foot forward, keeping nice and slow and controlled in your lunges. 2 to the side is next. And then 2 reverse. Coming as low as feels okay for you. 1 more time. 2 forward, 2 side, 2 back. Keeping that range of motion, just smooth, controlled. Toes and knees are always pointing in the same direction. We'll go for 1 more. Forward, forward, side, side, back, back. Keeping that chest up nice and high. Excellent. Feet can come hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. We'll go for about 10 squats. Keeping that chest up high. Same principles, nose and T's. Knees and toes, following the same lines out. Whatever depth feels okay for you, maintaining that neutral spine. And when you're done your 10-ish, just come on up to stand. We're gonna start top to bottom with some half neck circles here. So ear comes to shoulder, chin to chest, other ear, other shoulder, and then back through the front. Just the front half of your circle. Nice and slow, side to side. Wonderful. Come on back up through the center. Arms can come into a couple swings in and out across the chest. And then we'll start to warm up those shoulders a little bit more specifically. If you've done PT sessions with me in person, you've probably done this as part of your warm-up before. If not, you're in for a treat. I think it's one of my favorites, just to get things firing in the shoulders, get them woken up a little bit. You're gonna start by arms out in front of you, keeping your shoulders back and down. Really nice, tall, neutral spine here. Starting with a little bit of a flutter to the arms. Keeping that tall spine the whole time. Let's start to bring the hands out a little bit wider. Keeping those arms active all the way down to your fingertips. When you come out to the sides, keeping that core nice and strong so you don't end up wobbling all over the place. And then let's go ahead and bring thumbs up. Again, keep that shoulder blade squeezed together, keep that chest open and proud. And switching to thumbs down. You might feel this a little bit more through the back of the shoulders, maybe into your triceps. Things should be warming up a little bit. Go ahead and bring palms back to face the earth. Bring it back in towards the center. Nice and slow. Little flutters. And finding your way back to the center. Let's bring it into a couple circles forward. Look out for your ceiling. And a couple circles back. Okay, continuing on through the upper body here, we're going to walk the hands out into a nice high plank. Just going to walk you through a scap push-up. If these are new for you, you can go from the toes or from the knees, your choice. What we're thinking about doing today is creating space between your shoulder blades and then kind of eliminating that space as a way to help wake up the upper body, shoulder stabilizers, and some of our postural muscles. So first, pressing through your hands, think about getting as much space as you can between your shoulder blades, and then allowing your chest to sink down a little bit so shoulder blades come to squeeze together. Important thing here is neck still stays long. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Go ahead and press back up. Create that space. And find your way back down. Let's make our way through 2 more of those. So moving at your own pace. And you can walk those hands back in towards the feet. Find your way back up. Nice. Next up here, go ahead and step one leg forward, find a lunge. I'm going to bring you through a version of World's Greatest Stretch. It's one that is a favorite for a lot of instructors. We all do it a little bit differently, so welcome to my version today. Go ahead and bring yourself back a bit so hips stack over the back knee. Same arm as your back leg is going to reach up and over towards the side wall. And then from here, we're going to bring hands down to the inside of your front foot. That same arm as your front leg. So for me, that's going to be my right arm is reaching up towards the ceiling. And then forearm comes down towards the ground. It might not touch, that's okay. Just going to bring that up and down about 3 times. And then finding your way back into your second side. Lunge stance first. Hips are pressing forward, but they're going to stay stacked over that back knee. This time, right arm is reaching up and over, extending a little bit through your side into the psoas. And from here, walking those hands forward to the inside of your front foot. Left hand this time, because my left foot is forward, is coming up towards the sky. And forearm down towards the ground about 3 times. Fantastic. You can go ahead, collect that back together. Coming back up to stand. If you have a little bit of space that you can move side to side, we're just going to come through some lateral shuffles. So what I want you to think about when we do any lateral shuffles today is keeping kind of an athletic stance, a little bit of a ready stance. If you've heard it explained like that before, chest stays up nice and high so that we can see what's going on, but we're finding a really good bend at the hips, at the knees, into a nice neutral squat position that enables us to be ready for just about anything, whether we're wanting to go up, down, forward, back, or side to side. So from here, again, keeping knees roughly in line with our toes as we're doing so, we're going to find a little bit of a shuffle side to side here. Just want to wake those legs up. Work with the space you have. It might be a little bit of a longer shuffle maybe a shorter one. And then just come take a wide stance and bring opposite hand down towards the opposite foot. Same thing other side. You might reach your foot, you might not. Maybe it's a shin. One more time each side. Go ahead, bring that back across. Back up to stand. Knee is going to come in towards the midline. It's going to sweep up and out. And then tracing that same route, coming up and back in. We're going to go for 3 of those. So just 2 more. Knee comes up and out. Up and in. 1 more. Keeping hips level as we're doing this. Fantastic. You probably guessed it. Same thing, second side. Drawing that knee up first. Out to the side as far as you can. And come on down. Reversing on the way back. 2 more, just like that. Side note, my cat has not made an appearance yet, but if I suddenly start to be seeming distracted or doing something super strange, I'm probably dealing with something that he's doing, trying to avoid tripping on him, something of that sort. So disregard or enjoy the entertainment, whatever that happens to be. Grab a sip of water if you need it. And I will walk you through what we're doing for our first circuit. Ideally, the plan is to do this circuit 3 times through. Generally, you'll have 10 seconds of rest between exercises. Not a lot, but it'll do, because we'll have a minute between each round of our circuit. Roughly a minute. So, 5 exercises that you need to know for this one. First one is going to be stairs. I probably don't need to demonstrate how to run stairs, just keeping in mind that you have good foot placement with every step you take so that you don't end up catching a toe, doing more of a stylized gravity test than we plan on doing. If you don't have a whole set of stairs, maybe you just have 1 or 2. If this mat was my stairs, you can do a little bit more of a step up, just coming on, and off. Every once in a while, switching sides, whatever foot is going first. If you don't have either of those, we're just gonna go for high knee running on the spot. So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between my stairs and doing some high knee running on the spot when it gets closer to the end of the timer. After that, we're going for reverse lunges. We're gonna go for the same side for about 25 seconds. What that's gonna look like is a step back into a lunge, and then when we come back up, we're gonna drive this knee up towards the chest. Stepping back to your lunge, drive it up. If you want to add a hop there, it is available. Just absorbing that landing to make it a little bit lower impact. Be nice to your knees. You want to be nice and quiet with your landings. Really absorb them so you don't get that awful smack sound. After that, we're going to go for some hopscotch. Very classic, nothing crazy. Both feet out, 1 foot in. If you want to get fancy with it, when both feet come out, so does a hand. And we'll have some good fun with that one, I'm sure. After that, jumping jacks, any style you want. Classic, and then I'll bring out more as we're going. Last one is going to be grasshoppers. What these look like are essentially a fancy mountain climber. So if you love mountain climbers, you'll probably love these too. You're gonna pop it down into a high plank. And rather than bringing a knee towards the chest, we're gonna kick that foot across the body towards the opposite side. So that knee might come up towards the opposite elbow, but foot still kicks out and past. If those don't feel good, go back to standard mountain climbers. No stress in that. Either way, each of these exercises we're going to do for a different amount of time. First one is going to be 1 minute long. And then after that, each interval will be 10 seconds less to our last one, which is grasshoppers, we'll do for 20 seconds. I just gave you a whole lot of information. Sorry about that. But I will demo everything and re-explain as we go along. So, getting my timer ready here. First thing you're going to start with is running up and down the stairs. We're going to do that for 1 minute, 60 seconds, followed by a 10-second rest. We're going to start that off. Oops. As soon as I get my timer ready. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go, up and down those stairs. All right, like I said, if you have that staircase, you're going up and down. If you don't have a staircase, you have a single step. You're going on, off, or up, down, down. Switching legs every once in a while, maybe every 4, every 8, whatever works for you. Otherwise, we're going for a nice little jog on the spot. Maybe driving those knees up towards us if that doesn't feel good. As we run, slow her down. Nice. We've got 10 more seconds here. Rest, take her easy. Next one, reverse lunge up to a knee or to a single skip. Same leg for the first 25 seconds. Here we go. So I'm going same leg over and over. Stepping back far enough that my front knee stays stacked over my ankle. Go as low as feels okay for you. Add that hop if you're wanting a little bit more. I'll let you know when to switch sides. Switching in 3, 2, 1. Second side, other leg, step it back, right into it. No rest between sides here. Skip option is available. Nice, 10 seconds-ish. And rest. Next one, we're going for hopscotch. Feet out, one foot in. Both feet out, other foot in. Hands if you want to. Here we go. So starting classic. If these don't feel good with the hops, maybe coming to an in, out, out pattern. If you're feeling up for it, having that hand tap. If it doesn't reach all the way down, that's okay. Keeping a neutral spine. Lots of bend in those legs if you're reaching. Should be warming up a bit. Rest. Next one. Jumping jacks. Few different styles. I'll demo as we go. 3. Let's go for it. So, classic. One of my favorites, opposite hand to opposite foot. These can be fun, either in front or coming behind. If you're doing those by yourself, you get as fancy as you want. No one knows if you're doing them right or not. Little rest. Last one. Whew. Grasshoppers, come on down. Like your mountain climbers, but more exciting. Here we go. Stepping, kicking it through. Shoulders are gonna stay stacked over top of your wrists. Core strong in that high plank. All right, little rest. Take a breather, get water. You have about a minute. And outside of that, I'd recommend keeping your feet moving a little bit, even if you're just walking on the spot. A little bit of an active recovery phase. How are you feeling so far? Lots of hopping. If you weren't warm before, you should be by now. Going for round 2, same circuit, same 5 exercises. Got about 30 more seconds of rest. And with those grasshoppers, if they are like, man, these are great, but Andy, I don't know how I feel about doing those for 3 rounds. If the shoulders aren't really happy or the wrists, another option would be to go forward bicycles from your back, opposite elbow to knee, or to use your steps as a little bit of an angled approach. So when you're coming to do those hands on the steps, kicking across, up a little bit higher. A little bit less pressure on the shoulders and wrists. All right, we're just over our minute rest here. So back to stairs. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Onto your stairs. Single step coming up and down, or high knees. Remember, we have a minute here, so move at a pace. It's going to keep that heart rate elevated. A good challenge for you to do for that minute. Not going to kill you. If you're doing that single step, switch feet every once in a while. Challenge yourself with that non-dominant foot first. About 30 seconds left. Keep that going. I'm going to bring it back over to my real stairs for a moment. All right, 5 seconds. Rest. Nicely done. Reverse lunges coming up next. So again, one leg over and over and over. I'll let you know when to switch. Here we go, first side. Step it back, drive it up. Think about pressing through your heel of that front foot. Quick drive of that knee up towards the chest. Hop is there if you want it. I'll leave that up to you. Got lots of hops coming up in hopscotch and jacks. Go ahead and switch sides, right to your other leg. Keeping that breathing nice and steady. I'm sure you can probably hear mine. Keep it going. Last couple. Whew. All right, hopscotch. If you did this as a kid, this is your time to shine. Let's go for it. Amp it up if you want to add a few other fancy tricks. Maybe you just go single feet for a while. That's available. Last little bit. Keep it moving, steady pace. Rest. Next one, jumping jacks. Classic or stylized. All right, last time I demoed a few different stylized options. So the jumps are really not feeling good. Step it instead. Take it a little slower. Again, finding that pace. That is a good challenge for where you're at today. Faster, halfway point already here. Two, one, take it easy. Next up, grasshoppers. Come on down. And 3. Let's go. Keep that core super strong. Really good cross body action here. All right. 1 minute rest. Grab your water. If that heart rate's up a little higher than you'd like it to be, slow things down. Keep your feet moving, but find those nice deep breaths in. Fill it all the way up. On a nice slow exhale. Slow things down. Catch your breath. Got one more round of those exercises, and then we're going to come into our next exciting circuit. So far, so good. Just over 20 seconds left of a rest here. Sticking with those same times. All right, stairs first. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. Onto those stairs, steps, or high knees. 1 minute. Find that pace. Stick with it. Let's go. Come on. Halfway through. Get those arms moving. Step option if you need it. Onto your step and back down. Almost there. 5. Rest. Nice reverse lunges, 25 seconds each side. First leg, here we go. Go ahead and step that back. Drive that knee up. Add the hop. If you're feeling it, higher impact or lower impact. Don't go quite as low into your lunge. Like you're starting a sprint, opposite arm can come up with that knee and switching sides right onto your second leg. Step it back, drive it up. Just as much control as your other side, just as much effort here. Hops if you need it. Take a rest. Next one, hopscotch. We've got 40 seconds here. 2, 1, let's go. I did not play a lot of hopscotch as a kid. Maybe that shows. Either way, never too late to start, right? If you're hopping those feet in, we're dropping the hands. Make sure you alternate sides. A little coordination test for you. Rest. Next one, jumping jacks or stepping, 30 seconds. Whew. Let's go for it. Keep it up, light on the feet. Option to step. More than halfway done. You've got to keep that going. Rest. Last one, grasshoppers. Come on down. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Step it through. Just tapping that foot, driving that knee up to your opposite elbow. Core stays so strong. 5 seconds, let's go. And a rest, take a sec. End of our first circuit. Next one, I'll show right away here, but I'm gonna grab some water first. I recommend you do as well. And then we'll get on with the excitement. Whew. Side note, if you had a temptation to chug the rest of your water bottle right now, probably don't. We're not really doing burpees, but they're an option, so just stay tuned and drink your water accordingly. Hydrate as needed, but recommending small sips. Just, yeah, for your personal comfort today more than anything else. All right, next up. First one is going to be an inchworm out to some mountain climbers. I'll let you choose. If you love those grasshoppers, keep them, bring them back. Do what you want with them. Otherwise, any kind of mountain climber will do. You need a chest, need an opposite elbow, or coming into your obliques a little bit more, knee up towards the same side, elbow or tricep. So what this is gonna look like is walking the hands out to a high plank. For mountain climbers, walk the hands back in, tap your feet, back out. For climbers, back in, so on and so forth. If you had done, I think it was my force prep class last week, we did frog jumps as an alternative, hopping both feet in and then back out to your plank. If you'd like to do 4 of those instead of your mountain climbers as a higher impact option, that's available. But we're hanging out there for a minute, so adjust as you need to, pace as you need to. Exercise number 2, lateral shuffles, like in our warm-up, keeping it low, moving side to side. I would recommend with these, finding a spot to tap on the ground, just to get a little bit deeper into that squat position, keeping us nice and low, really focused in our lateral shuffles. Number 3, skips. Not these, unless you really want, all the power to you, but grab an invisible skipping rope, both feet, 1 foot, running, however you want to do it, just on the spot, shadow skipping. No rope required, but I do want you to do the arms, just so there's more of the body working to keep that heart rate up. Next up, I love these. It's usually something to be concerned about if I really love an exercise, but we're gonna go for some ski rolls. I know them as reverse burpees. What they're gonna look like is a hop up, low squat, absorbing that impact, roll it onto your back, press those heels up, roll it forward, back up to stand. This may be done by stepping to stand back up, and then repeat, hop up, roll back, watch out for pets, or with that roll straight onto your feet. Again, use the hands however you want to help you out getting back up here. If you're not loving those, they're not feeling so great, feel free to do standard regular burpees. Just your classic. Push up or no push up. Up to you. The last one, jump squats or body weight squats. Nothing crazy. Just absorbing that impact again. It's only for 20 seconds. Can't be that bad, right? We're gonna have a great time. First one, inchworm, walk the hands out, mountain climbers, or frog jumps. I'll demo both as we go here. 1 minute of these. Starting in 3. Hands walk out. 4 climbers. Hands walk in. Back out. Keep that core tight. Try to keep the hips from wobbling back and forth. Keep them stable. Or, option to do our frog jumps. Up to you. If you really need a break for those shoulders, stand up for a sec if you need it. Join back in when you're ready. One more. And rest. Take it easy. Next one, lateral shuffle side to side. Add that touch. Down towards the ground. Here we go. Find a pace you can maintain. Again, not going all out. touchdown doesn't feel good, don't go so low. That's okay. Keep some bend to the knees. Quick direction changes. Side to side. Whatever space you have. Nice and toasty. 10 seconds, let's go. Rest. Next one. Skips. Grab your rope or rope. All right, here we go. 40 seconds. Skipping however you want. Make it as fancy or as not fancy as you please. Almost there. Rest. Ski rolls. Reverse burpees. Use the mat if you have a hard floor, protect your back. Quiet landings here, absorb them. Here we go. Hopping up, roll it back, forward and up. Modify your get up however you need to. Core stays strong as we're rolling. A little rest. Next one, ho jump squats. How could I forget? Body weight squats is your alternative. Here we go. Just 20 seconds. Pace it if you need to. Change it up as you need to. Check in. Where are you looking? If it's at the floor, maybe let's change that up. Gaze up a little bit. Rest. Whew. All right, second circuit, round one is complete. I think we're gonna do this one more time. I originally thought I was doing 3 rounds, but I'd love to do our last circuit as well. I'm really excited about it. It's a whole lot of core. That's one of my favorite things. So, one more round of this guy, and then we'll move along. Grabbing that sip of water. About a minute rest. Slow, steady breaths. Hope you're pushing hard. Gotta tell you, I've been freezing cold all day. All day. Mind you, I haven't been outside. Maybe that's the problem. But I am not cold anymore. At all. This is going well. All right, we're gonna get back at this here. About 10 seconds. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Starting inchworm and climbers. Here we go. Walk those hands out. 4 climbers. Hands back in. Pardon me 1 sec. Keep it going. Walk the hands out. 4 climbers. Hands back in. Keep that going. Nice. Go at your own pace here. Keep that up. Core strong as we walk it out. And back. Bend the knees as much as you need to on your walk back to keep it comfortable. I know not everybody folds in half, that's fine. No flexibility prerequisites here. Almost through. 3, 2, and 1. Take a rest. Next one, lateral shuffles, side to side. Pardon my disappearance. My cat was attacking some flowers. Can't have that. Here we go, side to side. Good bend to those legs. Steady pace. Past our halfway point, keep that up. Nice, all the way. Three, two, and one. Skips are next. Grab your ropes. Okay, here we go. Modify these as you need, or make them as fancy as you feel. Look out for your pets, children, roommates, furniture, really whatever. Good work, keep it going. Rest. Ski rolls, reverse burpees, love them. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Use that momentum on your way up. Gentle, quiet landing. Whew. Next one, last one here, jump squats. Here we go. 20 seconds. Again, chest stays high. If you're hearing strange things, it's my cat attacking the microphone. Keep it going. And rest. All the fun times of doing live stream with pets. Take a sec, catch your breath, grab water. One more for you here. Core circuit. Getting things fired up. Again, 5 exercises, same timer. First one is going to be a bird dog. Popping down onto all fours. This is going to look like opposite arm and leg extend and find their way back to the mat. I want you to think about reaching for the walls rather than up towards the ceiling so that we keep a neutral spine and avoid that kind of action going on. So core stays tight. I'll give options as we go. Next one, moving into a plank from your toes or from your knees. We're going to go hands to forearms. Core stays tight. If feet narrow is too hard, you can step them wider. Larger base of support. If you need a break, take a break. Join back in whenever you're ready. After that, another one of my favorites, leg climbers. We're essentially doing crunches. That's really the base of this one. Coming onto your back, one leg up, one foot planted. You're sitting up towards that foot. Maybe we touch it, maybe we don't. If you're really not feeling it and you need a little bit of an assist, use that leg to help you up. But at least I would like your shoulder blades leaving the mat here. We're gonna go for 20 seconds on one leg, 20 seconds on the other. I'll let you know when to switch. Same as with those reverse lunges. Afterwards, leg raises. Hands can be under the bum, a little bit easier. Out to the sides, a little harder. Up by the head, harder still. Avoiding lifting the back off your mat. If you're really starting to curve up and you can slide a hand underneath here, you're a little bit too high up, pick something a little bit lower intensity, or don't drop the legs so much. Last one, probably my favorite of the entire workout, comes back to those ski rolls. We're gonna go for some hollow body rocks. So making a bit of a banana type shape. Arms can go overhead or down beside the legs. Gonna rock back, shoulder blades and heels need to touch. Another option is just to hold a hollow body, nice and still, nice and steady, or a V-set if hollow body is not so doable for today. All right, we're gonna get right on into this. Bird dogs, we have 1 minute here. Make sure I can see my timer, let you know when to switch sides later on. But starting with these ones in 3, 2, 1. Opposite arm and leg extending out, finding their way back down. These are slow, they are controlled, no rush. However, if you're wanting a little bit more, maybe we drive opposite elbow to knee and then extend back out and come down. So that's extend, elbow to knee, extend, and back down. Go at your own pace. Noticing where the balance is a little bit more challenged. Slow and steady. 10 seconds left here. If you need to even out side to side, do so. And rest. Next one, coming hands to forearms plank from your toes or from your knees, adjusting that stance wider or narrower as needed. Here we go. If you always want to move right arm first, make sure you switch it up every once in a while. Do a few left arm first, or vice versa. Aiming to keep shoulders and hips square towards the front of your mat the whole time. Drop it to the knees if you need to. It's a long plank, I get it. Upper body is going to be awake. So I wanted those shoulders warm earlier. Rest. Next one, leg climbers. Come on to your back. We're going 20 seconds per leg. One is up to start. Here we go. A little bit of a crunch or a sit up towards that foot. The more vertical your leg is, the harder it's going to be here. So adjust as needed. And go ahead and switch legs, second side, right to it. And rest. Taking that easy for a moment. What do I have next here? Leg raises. You have to stay on your mat. Hands by the hips. Here we go. Thinking about driving that belly button in towards the spine. Pressing your back firm into your mat. A little harder if you have those hands out to the sides or up by your head. But please make sure you're still breathing. Maybe a slow exhale as you lower. Inhale, lift back up. And rest. Last one, hollow body rocks or hollow body hold, up to you. It's only 20 seconds after all. May as well go for it. Here we go. Shoulder blades and heels are what we are looking for. Core should be awake. Whew. And rest. Take a sec. grab a sip of water. Let's get through a couple of stretches today, a little bit of mobility. I got really excited about some of the circuits. Didn't save as much time for mobility as we could. Keep in mind, this video is going to be up on our page for the next 24 hours. So if you're like, I so want to do another round of those, it's up there, it's available. And if you have questions about it, of course, we're happy to help you out. Nice thing with that last little bit of core circuit is, unlike the rest of ours, less cardio based, less high intensity, so that heart rate can start to come down a little bit. We can start to cool down a little bit, even though we're still hitting some really important core muscles. So if you're on your mat, if you're not already down there, find your way down. You make your way onto your stomach, hands under the shoulders, press up to wherever feels okay for you as a little bit of a cobra, extending through the front of the body, letting the hips just get heavy here. If that breath is still escaping you a little bit, finding that deep, slow inhale, smooth, full exhale. Sigh it out a couple times if you need to, that always feels good. Go ahead and drop that down. We'll press up and back into a child's pose. It's a little bit of a counter stretch. Allowing the back to round kind of naturally over the legs here. And then since we're doing a couple yoga postures already, I'll continue on with that. You can make your way up into a downward dog. Tuck those toes, send the hips up and back. This should start to stretch a little bit into the backs of the legs. Bend your knees as much as you need. And think about drawing the chest back towards the thighs, opening up a little bit through the front of the chest, shoulders. Nice to get a few spots at once here. Maybe dropping the heels a little bit more, pedaling them out if you want to get into the calves a bit. Fantastic. You can find your way back down to a side lie here. We're going to bring one heel in towards the glutes, keeping that knee in line with the hip. Find a quad stretch. If you don't want to hold on to your foot here, you can always roll back a tad so the floor catches your toes. Thinking about if you can't quite feel that quad stretch sensation, finding a bit of activation, pressing that hip forward. Sometimes that helps a little bit more to get more out of that stretch. Very nice. Go ahead and switch sides. Heel in towards the glutes, maybe rolling back so the floor can hold onto it for you. As much as I love working hard, it's nice not to have to work as hard in a stretch. Like I mentioned earlier, if this wasn't quite your jam, or you're going to be up and raring to go again tomorrow, at 1400 hours, Audie, one of our other fantastic fitness and sports instructors at CFB Edmonton, is going to be running us through a live streamed force test focused PT session. Today was a little bit more about bringing that heart rate up, keeping it up over a longer period of time as we went through a whole bunch of different exercises to keep it up and going. This is going to be a little bit more focused for that force test specific. So excellent training. I would totally recommend checking it out. If you have any other questions for us, toss comments, questions into the comments below. We're going to be monitoring that for about the next 15 minutes or so. If you want to get one more little forward fold in here, you can toss those legs out in front of you, finding a little bit of a lean forward and down. Ideally finding a neutral spine if you're using the legs to help with a bit of a pull here. Thinking about drawing from like the sternum forward first, and then see if we can get that stretch sensation. I had some fun today. I had fun coming up with these circuits, hoping to bring something a little bit different as far as intervals go. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a little bit of a sweat on, and if you were chilly all day like I was, you should be warm now. Yeah, we will see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for joining.